Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Brennan Young with Odyssey Trek Channel, and today we're checking out the NZXT H440 case. Before I get too far into this video, I'd like to talk about the social media platforms I developed for Odyssey Trek. We do a lot of cool things outside of just the YouTube channel that I'm very proud of, and I'd like to get you guys to go check it out. There'll be links in the description, as well as the picture that I'm probably putting over the video right now. Go ahead and go check them out on almost all social media platforms. Okay, without further ado, let's check out the NZXT H440 case. So this is a quiet in mind case, and I'll get into what I mean by that later on in the video. So this is actually going to become my new personal case. This case has been out on the market for a little while, and I was looking for something that kind of checked all the boxes for me. I needed something mid-tower, preferably full tower, but this will work. It's a pretty decent sized mid-tower case. I need it to be white, I need it to be at a reasonable price, and this thing, and of course good build quality, and this thing kind of checked all those boxes. So when you first check out the H440, you can see that it's very blank. It almost looks like a little mini fridge at first, and I'm telling you, if you try and open it up to get a Coke out of there, it's not going to happen. But it's very blank on the front panels. It's got a small logo down the front. That's the only thing that's on that front panel. The other panels are completely flat, no characteristics to them except for the side panel. It has this beautiful side window, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Speaking of the panels, it has this glossy white finish on it that you would think would attract a lot of fingerprints. Just the word glossy kind of stands out in our minds as, oh, well, it's going to get fingerprints and smudges easy. But I was actually very surprised at how much that doesn't happen with this. So back to the beautiful side window. The side window features an NZXT illuminated logo that hides the power supply. That's that shroud that hides the power supply under is where that logo is. It's very neat. Very simplistic window, doesn't cover the whole side panel because in my opinion you don't want to see those bay drives over on towards the front of the case anyway, so I'm actually okay with what it shows because what it shows is basically everything that you want to see inside your case. The rear of the case features illumination to illuminate the cable management, I guess, if that's something that you're proud of, as well as 120 to 140 millimeter fan slots. It also features 7 PCI slots, and of course the power supply down at the bottom. The top features 2 USB 3.0 inputs and 2 USB 2.0 inputs, as well as mic and headphone separate inputs and a power and reset button. So when you crack this thing open, the magic really comes out. First of all, when you first open the case and you undo the screws have retainers in them so you're not losing screws all over the place when you're trying to do your build or change something in the computer. They stay within the panels. Almost every panel has heavy foam on it for sound dampening. Like I mentioned before, this is a quiet in mind case, so that heavier foam is going to keep the sound in, going to deaden the sound, keep it from being a loud machine. I will say that that heavy foam on the back panel where you're doing all your cable management behind your motherboard can take up some space, and you will make indents into that foam. You'll never really be able to notice it unless you take off that panel, but just a caution, if you have a lot of cables that have to run back there, that's going to limit your space a little bit. But as far as the rest of the cable management goes, it's awesome. There's plenty of room in there, plenty of zip tie hooks to be able to hug the cables as close to the case as you can, wire them real neat and nice throughout the case. There's plenty of holes for the cables to go down into so they're not showing across that beautiful side window they have on this case. There's 2 SSD mounts on top of the power supply shroud that we talked about earlier. That's really handy. If you have a nice looking SSD, you can really show it off there. There's 5 3.5 inch bays towards the front of the computer for your hard drives, covered by a stealth panel that you're not really going to be able to enjoy because there's not a full window on the side of the case. So it's cool that it's there, but it's not really making too much of a difference. There's plenty of space to mount your radiators, up to 360 millimeter on the top of the case as well as the front of the case. The case comes pre-installed with 3 120 millimeter fans in the very front. When you take off that front cover, it exposes it. You can see that. It's got a magnetic filter in it, which is really awesome. And there's one pre-installed 140 millimeter fan at the back of the case. So that pretty much wraps it up for the NZXT H440 case. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Give a like down below if you did. Share not only my content on YouTube, but all YouTubers' content. We are all out here making videos to inform, entertain you, whatever. I'm happy to be a proud of it. Please don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content.